this footage that I've been showing you in the last few minutes is actually part of the Harris Beach State Park's property. So if you stay at this state park, then you have access to this beach. It's pretty awesome. What do you think of Oregon so far?
It's beautiful.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Never seen a coast like this with all these rocks.
No, it's amazing.
You know what it reminds me of?
The Goonies?
The Goonies! Never say die.
Maybe Chunk already got to the police.
Maybe Chunk is dead.
Don't say that. Never say that. Goonies never say die.
Hope it was a yes. Hey guys, welcome back to No Sticks, No Bricks. We have moved on from Harris Beach State Park. It was an absolutely wonderful state park to stay at. And we definitely recommend checking that place out because, you know, it's probably one of the better state parks that we've been to traveling across the U.S. A lot of the state parks are nice, but this one was above and beyond nice. So we moved on. We are now at South Jetty Thousand Trails, which is right outside of Florence, Oregon. And we're here for a couple of weeks with our friends Steve and Jen still. We've been here for a couple days already. It's a pretty nice park, a little bit tight, not bad as like Russian River or Ponderosa along the river. That's not that tight, but Section E is where we're at, and that's where you're gonna wanna go for the big rigs. We'll be doing a 360-degree tour of this park. I'll pop a card. I get this wrong every time, so I'm just gonna go here. We do not have full hookups. We do have 50 amp and water. However, there are no sewer sites in where we're at anyway. There's a few sites in Section E that do have sewer, but those were all taken already. There's also a few other sewer sites, full hookup sites that are spread out throughout the campground. We either A, couldn't fit in them, or B, they were already taken, so no big deal. Just run the Blue Boy back and forth. What's kind of cool about this RV park is there's actually different waste areas where you can dump your gray water. You don't have to go all the way to the dump station to run the Blue Boy. They've actually got them spread out throughout the park, so that's kind of cool. We got one right down the road from us here, just a couple spots, so I don't even have to hook the Blue Boy up to the truck. I can just tow it down there with the old arm. So we're in site 124. Let me show you around. So as you can see, we got a really nice shaded spot, and Starlink is working okay. It goes in and out because of the trees, obviously. Even though we got what I thought was a pretty clear shot of the northern sky, those satellites must be spread out quite a ways apart from each other because we still are getting an obstruction every like 30 seconds or something like that. So T-Mobile here with the boosters working pretty good, about 10 megabits down. Not so much up, maybe like 0.5 up, and then AT&T is decent. It's a little bit better than T-Mobile, but don't know about Verizon because, as I mentioned in a previous video, we canceled our Verizon hotspot once we got the Starlink, but looks like we might be keeping our T-Mobile hotspot for a while because Starlink does seem to be definitely site dependent. They do have a heated pool here at South Jetty, and we went and checked that out yesterday. That was pretty nice. And they have 2 hot tubs. Those were nice too. overall, I think we're gonna like it here. We're here for 2 weeks, and so far so good. Tomorrow, our friends Todd and Sheila from Switch It Up are gonna be here, and we're hoping we can get them right next to us. That spot opens up tomorrow, but there's a couple other spots that are close by too, so we're gonna hang out with them, as well as Jen and Steve for the next few days, so that'll be nice. It's always better camping with friends, like I mentioned, I think last video, but I think it's a no-brainer. Love camping with friends. Just makes it better. All right, today we are doing a hike with Jen and Steve and Laney, and we are at the Simpson.
Did you not read the sign?
And we are at the Simpson Reed Trail. This is in the Redwood National Forest, just south of Brookings, about 30 minutes. Brookings, Oregon, where we're staying at.
Yeah, just a short drive.
Yeah, look at these trees. They're huge. These aren't the big giant sequoias, but they are the big giant redwoods, which I believe is the same family.
Yep, we're gonna do an easy walk, hike, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So check it out. Well, what do you think of this trail?
It is beautiful.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
I mean, the sequoias were huge, but I think these are actually bigger.
Some of them, I don't know, do seem to be bigger, but it's just beautiful. It's shaded. It's nice out today.
No wind at all.
No.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very peaceful.
Jen and I have been RVing together for almost 25 years. And after owning 7 RVs and being on the road full time for a little over a year, we've come up with quite a few different organization tips and tricks. So we're gonna share those with you today, and we're gonna start up in the master bedroom.
Some of the tips and tricks. So, tips and a trick. The fin hangers. They're felt so your clothes don't fall off. As you can see.
Yeah, during travel days, the camper shakes a lot, so these definitely help.
Now, sometimes they'll bounce off this rack completely,
Right.
but easy enough to put back on. So it's kind of nice, you know, like I have this part of the shelves and the little bracket, and then Jason has the back. But it works well. It keeps our stuff on. They're thin. It takes up less space. You can see we have one. It looks like we only got one left. One big one left. It's a little bit thicker than the other ones. Another thing we utilize are totes. We have totes everywhere, different kinds. This is kind of easy access. More like our hat, gloves, winter stuff, excess stuff, thicker socks, stuff that we don't need on a daily basis when you're chasing, you know, 70 degrees. But there's been times that we need some cold weather stuff, so it's easily accessible right there.
Right.
Another thing, because on my side of the bed, I don't have any storage like Jason does, so we got this little cart. You know, my cell phone charges on there, my Apple Watch, headphones, and all my little trinkets. Other thing we utilize is, you know, underneath the bed, there's a lot of storage. We use a lot of different size totes. You can get them, you know, anywhere, Amazon, Target, wherever. So kind of like shirts that I don't wear all the time, but I still want to have, extra medications, all our sunglasses case, our bed linen. Then there's a space way up here. It's kind of thin, but we got other stuff back there that kind of doesn't, you know, that we don't want to have to always keep out. We just kind of keep things underneath there, stuff we don't use all the time, but want to have access to. So another good space-saving storage idea is rolling your clothes. You can roll them up. So I don't roll everything, but like all my workout shorts, my lounge shorts, my little skirts, I kind of roll them up. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to fit all these in here, and there's still some room to put some extra.
That's a military deployment trick right there.
That is. You gotta max them. We got a little bag to stick, you know, six months worth of stuff in. And then also on here, this is the kind of an open shelf. So we bought just some stackable racks that you can use for storage. We roll our towels for extra space. A lot of 3M hooks. So we kind of have them strategically placed throughout the RV. This one I have next to my bed. I have like a couple of thin hoodies I like to keep here. I can hang my purse on here. Two places in the RV that I personally think I need the most space-saving organization in. One is the bathroom, and then the other one's gonna be the kitchen. So the bathroom. I feel like I have a lot of bathroom stuff, but you know, I live in this thing and I like all my stuff, all my girly stuff, as Jason likes to say. So inside the medicine cabinet, I got a couple different storage things. One's just these little thin baskets. I do them for my medications so they don't kind of fall over on travel days. And then the other thing is these little round baskets. It's a 3-pack. This one just happens to fit perfect. I can fit my, you know, keeps the stuff from falling over. Got those at Target in those little discount bins they always have in the front of the store. Other thing is inside the shower. I don't want to keep everything on the floor and be tripping over it while I'm showering. So little 3Ms again. This is just the metal baskets. The first one we could find was the metal basket. We tried to find it again and we couldn't, so we found this little plastic one as well, and a little thing to keep my, you know, razor in and soap. And these have stayed up. I mean, we've been on the road over a year now, and they've never fallen down.
Not all roads are smooth.
No, and so they've come good. So I feel like this definitely helps. As you notice, there's, you know, Jason has, I think, 3 things in here, maybe, and then I have the rest.
Shocking.
The laundry basket was always something where do I want to keep it. I don't want to keep it in the closet where all my clean clothes are and all that. So we keep ours right here in the shower, and then when we shower, we just take it out and move it out in the hall briefly. And it does collapse, so if you need to, you know, on both sides it'll collapse in. So if you do need to store it flat when you don't have any dirty laundry, which for us is like never. The minute it's empty, I'll put it in here and then I'll come in 3 minutes later and it's already full again. So it's the never-ending story. Like I said before, 3M hooks are gonna be your friends. So we have lots of them in here for our towels. And then also, you know, like extra stuff sometimes, like my pajamas, my lounge clothes, if I'm only gonna wear them like for a couple hours and we're going out, I'll just kind of hang them up in here and keep them kind of organized. Inside here is probably the area that needed a lot of, or not organization, but needed storage options. And so again, this was one big open space. We ordered this rack off Amazon because it's adjustable, because this kind of goes back all the way, you know, to here. So just different types of baskets, you know, little plastic one to keep little things in and all that. So I think it works well. You'll just have to find what works best for you, sizes. Definitely want to measure your space, because I made that mistake once or twice, and then I had to like come up with a new place to put things. So
if you want to know where we got any of these shelves or space saving baskets or any of that stuff, just let us know in the comments. I'm not going to provide a link for every single one because it's going to be a lot, so just let us know in the comments and we'll be happy to respond, and I promise it'll be fast.
Like I said, other than the bathroom, probably the biggest place that most people are going to want to maximize space and use storage items is going to be in your kitchen. Because I love to cook, so I want to have all my ingredients that I like to use on hand and all my utensils, what I think my kitchen necessities are. So we'll start in the food pantry. So in the food pantry, ours has a lip, which is great. So I kind of do this, which is a nice little lip. Also, I have these little baskets for stuff that tend to always fall over on travel days. So like again, this is just from Target, and I just kind of stick it in here. I got other little baskets for our snacks. This little shelf works good to keep my bread up high, but still utilize space underneath. These little plastic containers are perfect to put all our granola bars in. Another shelf. And for me, this is a kind of a constant thing. So before I go grocery shopping, I always like to make sure that it's organized and clean, so I'm not like repeating and buying like 6 boxes of macaroni and cheese, because I don't have a need for that.
Have we done that in the past?
We've done that in the past. The other thing are these nice little storage containers, like all my little mix and gravy packets. I used to just leave them in here, and then they get squished and I forget about them. So I just have different ones. Got rice, potatoes, all different sizes. It just kind of depends on what you want to put in there and what you need, but I like it. It keeps it organized. I want to be able to look in here and know exactly if I'm missing something. So in our cabinets, we do have that no slip grip is kind of what I call it. So we do have that, and it helps with keeping our stuff secured. Now, I used to put the bars up, and I haven't put the bars up in a while, and nothing's ever fallen out or broken. I guess knock on wood. I don't know if that's real wood or not, but we'll knock on it. Another thing, we've had this for a long time in our other camper. And we just kind of have our plates and stuff. This keeps a little bit more, instead of stacking them on top of each other, if I want to get a plate, I can just pull it from here and, instead of moving it all. Like this, these are all loose right now, but actually I use my strainer once it's clean, and I just kind of keep those in there.
All the koozies
and stuff. And I have like stackable bowls, or my mixing bowls, and my like little salad bowls. They're just all stackable inside each other, which helps utilize space. Another thing is buying appliances that are like kind of, I guess, multi-use. So this is like an air fryer, a toaster, you can like reheat in it. And so we always had, the separate air fryer, the separate toaster, but now full-timing we kind of have this, and it fits perfect. It kind of folds down and folds up. So just kind of one of those things, utilizing your space.
Right.
It's like the big thing.
That's the Ninja.
Yeah, that's the Ninja. And then we like the Keurig. Some people don't. We like it. And so we just kind of found a smaller one that fits perfect. We've always had like the big one that we don't have to refill water in every day, but it doesn't really fit in here. It's just too big. So another thing is we have a basket here that we use. I think you've probably seen in other videos. It's kind of like glued down. Not with like super glue or anything, but like the type of glue that you use on the back of a credit card, so you can take it off if we decide to move it. But it's kind of handy. It doesn't move on travel days, and it's kind of where Jason keeps his wallet and all his little personal junk basket. I don't like it, but it is. It's his personal junk basket. Another thing, again, different types of 3M hooks or other hooks we use here to maximize space for your extra set of keys. And then, of course, we have more over here for keys that we use pretty much, every day. Camper keys, motorcycle keys. And then again, not everything's 3M, but we put them on the back of this nail box instead of screwing it in, where we keep our extra dog bags, harnesses, fly swatter, this kind of extra stuff, 3M hook. And here for all our little jackets, hoodies, and stuff. Another thing, we use lots of baskets underneath as well, so stuff doesn't fall over. Cleaning supplies, just stuff, so all the things, they don't fall over. This side I don't have any baskets on, but I utilize this big shelf for that, and there is a little basket back there for and just more bins, different things to keep everything organized. All my drawers do have something in them. It's funny because we're doing this video and I do have something coming, actually, because this to me drives me crazy. So I got something else coming, so once we get that, we'll do an update to that and maybe just kind of reshoot this one area.
There you go.
I don't like having to dig to find like a certain knife or something. One of the last things that we did in the main area of the camper is replace the trays, and we kind of got these. They're like, they're actually made for a vehicle to travel, but you're able to store a lot more stuff. So on travel days, we can stick the remotes in here. We can wrap up our cell phone chargers, and then fit your coffee on there. The ones that came with it just weren't very real good. So we just kind of keep that stuff there. Plus, it's like the daily stuff when we're sitting here every day. Because, you know, reading glasses because getting older.
We really didn't do a whole lot of organization in the loft, but we did put everything in totes. My mom was nice enough to make this curtain for us, so it kind of covers it up so you don't see it, all the storage up here. Basically, it's totes full of stuff all the way back, just extra stuff that we have. Probably don't need a lot of it. In fact, when we go to Alaska the next summer and check on our storage unit, this will probably be different looking, like a lot less stuff. Some of the organization that we did in the garage was to first find a place to store our ladders. Our Momentum did come with 2 ladders, one to access the loft that we just showed you, and then the other one to access the Happy Jack system. And this is what we came up with. We actually saw this on one of the Grand Design Facebook pages. Somebody came up with it and got these little fist clamps that hold the ladders up here, and they work really well, and they're always out of the way. The door still clears, so that's nice. Both doors, the bathroom door and this door. So another thing we did is we added this shoe over the door shoe holder, which works pretty good. This is where we keep all our hiking shoes and that kind of stuff. So more uses for 3M stuff. Obviously our brooms, mop, and then our helmets for our e-bikes, all that kind of stuff. We actually used 3M to hold up our little vacuum that we got down here. It's just kind of like a little portable vacuum. And then our regular vacuum sits right here. And then also in the garage, we've got 2 different shelves that came with our unit. And this is where we store most of our fluids and stuff for the vehicles, lubricants, that kind of stuff. So we've got baskets on both sides to hold all the lubricants. Otherwise, they will go everywhere on travel day, guaranteed. Same thing on this side. Baskets to hold everything. We got our e-bike chargers up here, all that kind of stuff. So obviously space saving is premium when you live in a tiny space. So utilizing spots behind doors is always a good thing. And this is where we keep our backpacks and our walking sticks for hiking. Again, 3M tapes. We got a holder for our batteries and our extra batteries that we have. And then we got this little shoe rack here for right next to the in and out door. We use this door primarily to go in and out of the RV, just because when you're tracking dirt and stuff in, it's much easier to clean up in the garage than it is in the kitchen with the white floor. And then we have all these 3M hooks for all the dog stuff. So since we do use this door primarily, we've got the leashes and the barking collars, mostly for itty bitty. 6 pounds of fury. Lastly, in the garage, we do use our Happy Jack system as storage on travel days. So basically what we do is we lower the bottom bunk a little ways, and we put our big comfortable lounge chairs in there along with a couple pillows, and then put the bunks back up, and it just squishes them all together, keeps them nice and secure, and they have never moved on travel days. All right, moving to outdoors, the main place where we love our organization, at least I do, is in the basement storage. It's a nice big space on the Momentum 397 series. So let me show you how I organize this space. So first of all, these side walls are all made out of plywood. So it allows you the ability to screw in hangers, nails, whatever you want to use to hang stuff up. As you can see, I've got all kinds of things hung up in here on the walls just to keep them from being scattered all over or hard to reach in totes or whatever. They never move on travel days. They always stay where they're supposed to, so that's good. I also ran an extension cord to here. That way I could plug in the chargers for my drill and my leaf blower. Right here, quick access. Also on this wall, I've got more things hung up. And the #1 way to organize this whole area down here is this MORryde sliding tray. Absolutely love this thing. Slides out. And instead of having to climb in there and dig out stuff all the time, I just bring it to me, which is awesome. So we got totes full of, you know, items that we use on a weekly basis, and this works out really well. So the last tips that we have for RV organization are on the other side of the basement storage. This is a lot smaller, but this is where the wet bay area is as well. So I do have my wet bay area somewhat organized. I've got my gloves here for when we do the tanks. We've got a 3M hook over here that holds the water filter wrench, plus a couple extra seals. We've got our sprayer here. I've got a baggie full of the quick disconnect fittings for the water hose, which I absolutely love. And even though this sliding tray does not slide out this way because it's too wide, we chose to get the wider one just so we could have more space. I didn't really need it to slide out this way because the only thing I have to have access to on this side is all the tank hoses and everything, and they're all in this tote right here, so I have access to everything I need to dump the tanks whenever we need to do that. Well, we hope you got something out of our tips and tricks for organization in a small living space like an RV. We're not experts by any means when it comes to organization. However, we do have a lot of experience with it. So if you have any questions or comments, you disagree with something we did, or you agree with it, or you have a better way of doing it, then leave it in the comments and we will definitely respond to you.
Just let us know. We're open for suggestions to anything. We're always looking at better ways to improve our living space.
That's right, always. And we're always getting them too. Instagram and Facebook, YouTube. It's very great resources for always constantly improving our living situation.
Definitely.
Well, that's it for this week's video, guys. If you liked it, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and sharing with all your friends and friends of friends and friends of friends of friends of friends of friends of friends of friends. And until next week, safe travels.